This is the Scholarlynk news for 20th January 2021. Police tracked a 34-year-old unemployed man who owns several luxury cars, including a Lamborghini worth 960,000 Malaysian ringgit. His arrest led police to his accomplice, a 38-year-old mechanic who could allegedly build hidden compartments in cars to store drugs. Police also conducted raids at a factory and two rented houses, which were part of a follow-up investigation into a drug syndicate that saw 15 suspects detained. The arrest led to a major drug haul of over 201 million Malaysian ringgit in narcotics, the largest in Malaysia's history. Aside from the illegal drugs, other items seized include machines and tools used by the syndicate, vehicles including the Lamborghini, cash in various currencies, and jewelry. 64 bank accounts belonging to the syndicate were also frozen. The total value of the seizure is more than 341 million Malaysian ringgit. The syndicate was capable of supplying drugs to over 11 million drug addicts. Police have not ruled out the possibility that they supplied their product overseas. Think about it. Will it be the case that when one syndicate is taken down, another one will rise to fill the void? A 6.2 magnitude earthquake struck Indonesia's West Sulawesi last Friday, killing at least 73 people, injuring more than 820 people, and leaving over 27,800 homeless. This is the latest in a string of disasters to affect the country. Police and military officers have also been sent to crack down on looting in several parts of the region. Rescuers have had to pull out corpses from collapsed buildings, which include a hospital and shopping mall. The head of Indonesia's Meteorological, Climatology, and Geophysical Agency stated that another earthquake in the region could possibly trigger a tsunami. Other disasters to hit Indonesia in recent days include floods in North Sulawesi and South Kalimantan provinces that killed 5, and landslides in West Java that have killed 29. Mount Semeru in East Java erupted last week, but there have not been any reports of evacuations or casualties. Extreme weather and other dangers of hydrometeorology have been forecasted for the coming weeks. Think about it. If you were one of the victims, would you rather be temporarily homeless or squeeze into a cramped evacuation center with others who might potentially have COVID-19? Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha has insisted that Thais will not participate in tests on the efficacy of COVID-19 vaccines. Any vaccines rolled out in Thailand must first have their safety and efficacy fully tested. This decision was based on the advice of a National Vaccine Committee. The Deputy Director General of the Department of Disease Control has stated that vaccines which are brought in for use in Thailand must at least be registered with countries which have strict regulations governing vaccine registration. These countries include the United Kingdom and the United States. The Thai government had pre-ordered 26 million doses of vaccine from AstraZeneca and recently sought to purchase another 35 million doses from them. The Deputy Director General also sought to allay people's fears about the vaccines and their side effects, saying that what most people experience are unpleasant, yet generally acceptable conditions following a shot. These include body aches, mild fevers, and fatigue. Think about it. Is it an acceptable risk to use a vaccine that has not yet been fully tested if the population is suffering badly from the effects of the pandemic? The Federal Bureau of Investigation has warned police agencies of the possibility of armed demonstrations outside the Capitol buildings of all 50 states up until the inauguration of President-elect Joe Biden. This is fueled by the supporters of Donald Trump, who believe in his false claims of electoral fraud, and by the attack on the US Capitol earlier in the month. More than a dozen states have already activated their National Guards to bolster security, including Washington, D.C. There were some demonstrations last Saturday, but state houses were mostly quiet. Most law enforcement officials were instead focusing their efforts on the anti-government Boogaloo movement, which made plans several weeks ago to hold rallies in all 50 states. Due to both the coronavirus pandemic and security concerns, much of the celebrations around Mr. Biden's inauguration will be held online, though he still plans to be sworn in and deliver his inaugural address at the Capitol. Think about it. Would you advise Joe Biden to go ahead with the inauguration, What with all the security concerns surrounding the event? A team of Nepali climbers last Saturday became the first to reach the summit of K2 in the winter. Many mountaineers have been trying to reach the summit of the world's second highest mountain over the last few weeks. Nicknamed the Savage Mountain, winds on K2 can blow at more than 200 km per hour and temperatures can fall to minus 60 degrees Celsius on the 8,611 meter high mountain. The 10 Nepali climbers who ultimately scaled the peak were earlier spread across different teams of climbers. They formed a new team to claim the feat in Nepal's name, which brought much rejoicing in the country. A Nepali climber who has ascended Mount Everest a record 24 times said that although the Nepalese are famed for their climbing experience and have assisted foreigners to reach the summits of the Himalayas, they have not been getting the recognition they deserve. Nepali guides, usually ethnic Sherpas, are considered the backbone of the climbing industry in the Himalayas, carrying equipment and food for the climbers. Think about it. Which do you think is the greater achievement? Mount Everest, which is the highest mountain, or K2, which is considered by many to be a more dangerous climb? At the end of our news segment, we like to take a look back at one of the issues raised and provide a bit of our own input. Today, we will be looking at the inauguration of President-elect Joe Biden and whether or not he should go ahead with the inauguration. If I had the chance to advise Joe Biden, I would definitely recommend that he go ahead with the inauguration and be sworn in and deliver his maiden address at the Capitol building. Firstly, I have every confidence that their security forces would be able to protect him, especially now that a large contingent of National Guardsmen have been deployed to the Capitol. Secondly, him being at the site of a recent attack, one that many have called an attack on American democracy, is a show of strength. It shows the American people and the rioters that he and his administration have the strength to push forward despite adversity and will not bow down to those who sought to disrupt their country. This brings us to the end of today's issue of the Scholarlynk News. Please remember to subscribe and click on the bell icon to be notified of our new videos. As always, from the Scholarlynk team, goodbye and have a great day ahead.